Hello, how can we improve our communication skills and relationships? Relationships, I mean, here can be either with our partner or parents or children, any family member, friend, colleague, or even stranger. Usually when we have relationship difficulties, we might have a negative impact on our well-being simply because when we are unhappy in relationships, we start storing different emotional blockages such as resentment, grief, grudge, disappointment, can be anger, frustration, all types of different emotions. They get blocked within when we don't release them of different relationship difficulties. And what are the ways to improve relationships? Sometimes it might be difficult, but we just need to remember a few simple tips. One of them is acceptance. Acceptance means simply to accept others the way they are, and does not mean that we allow to be mistreated or that we allow to be hurt or we allow someone to act in justice. Simply we accept others for who they are, no matter of their choices, of their character, of their behavior, of their values. We all want to be accepted for who we are, so in that case we also need to practice to try more to accept others. And acceptance means simply to tolerating each other's differences, and that might mean that also maybe the person behaves not in the line of your values, not in the most right actions or behavior that you would like, maybe might be not very nice in general, but we simply need to accept because we cannot really change the person. We can only help the person to improve. We can help by motivation, encouragement, by genuinely expressing our feedback in the constructive way. So just telling how we feel because of certain behavior that the person does, but not blaming the person, not criticizing in a rough, harsh way, but simply giving the constructive feedback, expressing our feelings, and helping the person to grow, to improve, to learn from the lessons, to encourage the person, but not judging, not criticizing, not blaming for what the person does, because we are all very different, and the way we grew up, the way we have been raised in the area, in the circumstances, we might all have different choices, values, opinions, character features or behavior. And that's why when we start accepting each other, we can learn from each other, we can motivate each other, support each other, encourage to grow and improve, rather than being envious of each other or criticizing and hurting by humiliating someone. The second advice is respect. So the first we discussed about acceptance, and the second is expressing our respect in actions, in words, and even in our thoughts. So with actions, we simply behave in a nice manner, being polite, being genuine, being gentle. With the words as well, we are talking in a pleasant way, we are talking in a peaceful way, in a polite way, in a friendly way. In that way, sometimes we might feel losing our temper in certain conflicts or arguments, and we need to remember just to take a moment to breathe in, hold the breath, and exhale. So in that way, by practicing a little bit longer than now, taking a moment to just really inhale, hold your breath and exhale, so that you can really focus on your breath to pacify emotions rather than on focusing on that emotion, being impulsive, straight away judging, screaming, shouting back, or telling something rude or harsh, and that might bring even more problems. So trying to take a moment to be mindful, to take from the situation a moment to stop, to be mindful, calm down, and then react, rather than have a situation and straight running towards the reaction and responding. So take a moment in between to become mindful, to become more calm, polite, to become more peaceful, and then respond in respectful and polite way. Imagine always, it helps me at least, if you have a conflict with someone and that person, instead of being your family member, someone very close that you might lose respect, imagine that person to be someone as your authority, your teacher, someone in the high position, or anything that helps you to feel more respect towards that person. If that your family member was someone as authority to you, would you scream? Would you humiliate? Would you judge? Would you criticize? I don't think so, because usually we would have this at least official respect. And sometimes towards our close people, our family members, our dear friends, we forget this respect because we get so close, we have this intimate relations, and then we forget this respect, and then we straight away tell in a rude or harsh way, not even thinking what we're saying. So always take a moment to be mindful, calm down, and then respond in a more rational, peaceful way, rather than straight away giving all your reaction in a negative way. And respect of person, the way the person is, the way the person talks, and respond in a peaceful way. In that way, it's not that we accept what person does mean unto us. No, we can keep the distance, we can clearly articulate, express, communicate how we feel, that this is not appropriate, we don't accept such a behavior because it hurts us, we don't want to be treated that way. So we can clearly, seriously, even strictly say that, but we can use the certain words that are in respectful way, in peaceful way and calm way, instead of swearing or shouting or being harsh and rough. So remember the second, respect. And the third one is to be loving and caring. Can be here simply caring, because sometimes we might be not feeling very loving towards certain people or in certain situations, but at least we can enhance our care. And one more thing about respect, as I said, in actions, words and thoughts. Because actions we can still control, words a little bit less, but we can still control. But the thoughts, often we don't control because no one sees, no one hears, and we can think whatever we want. We can be smiling and trying to be polite, pretending to be polite, and in the mind swearing all the possible ways about the person. So that's not really the best way of being respectful. It's still better than swearing straight to the person's face, but still not ideal. And here it's difficult, of course, to control the mind, but our task is to control the mind, because if we allow our mind to go all the way the mind wants to go, to judge, to complain, to criticize, to chastise the person, then one day we might express that in the words or even actions. So whenever you feel that your mind, your thoughts are becoming negative about someone, try to redirect your thoughts and focus either on the people you like or on the people that you see the good qualities that are more close to you, or even on the same people that maybe you have some tension, but focusing there on their good qualities. So try to find at least some qualities in every person and focus on those qualities more. And of course that will not be so natural, it will not be so easy, it will not be so sudden, but it can be as a task for us to keep practicing. So whenever you feel your mind is wandering and criticism, judging, complaining, then okay, what good do I see in that person? What that person have ever done good to me or to anyone else? If that is too difficult to remember anything, then you focus simply on the people you love, you feel more connected, that are more kind to you, and then think, okay, what people are nice to me, what good qualities I see in others then, so that you keep focusing more on some good qualities in people rather than dwelling in those negative qualities. Because there's everyone who has some negative qualities, but if we focus only on them, then those qualities more manifest in our relationships. Whereas when we focus on more good qualities, on something pleasant, then this manifests more in our relationships. So we can choose. And the third simply option is to be loving and caring. Maybe loving sometimes can be more difficult, so at least be caring, either in an artificial way, which is still better than not be caring at all, which eventually leads to be caring genuinely. And caring here means care in all the possible ways, again, either with your actions, by helping, supporting, doing some good work to others, or caring by words, so expressing gratitude, appreciation, saying sorry when you feel like you did something wrong, or listening to the person, let the person to express what she feels, to support by being there and supporting in all the ways you can. And caring also means that it's not that we only give, but we also get. Eventually, it becomes like a natural cycle of exchanging love and care. We give and then we get. So we don't need to seek, we don't need to demand, we don't need to expect, we don't need to try to get. We naturally get when we give. So keep giving your time, your energy, your resources, sharing your skills, your talents, helping others. And that way, you will also be supported, be appreciated, be treated in a nice way. And remember, if we would at least make a little bit of efforts to accept, respect and care, then we would have so much nicer relationships with each other. We would feel so much more supported, loved and cared. Because sometimes we really feel hurt by other people's behavior because we expect or we demand or we judge or we criticize, we complain, and then we all get upset. So we just need a little bit to be more kind and caring towards each other, and then we all can feel much more supported and help each other rather than suffer. I wish you all the best.